Unlock your health potential. Learning to identify root cause. Number 14. Heavy metals toxicity. While you have probably heard the term toxic heavy metals in the news or online, you might still be wondering what these mysterious-sounding substances mean for your health. Heavy metal is a broad term that describes a group of naturally occurring metallic elements of high molecular weight and density compared to water. Heavy metals are naturally found in our environment in the soil and the air. Humans are becoming more and more exposed to these metals due to contaminated drinking water as well as food crops, which have become more contaminated as a result of increased use of heavy metals in several industrial, agricultural, domestic, and technological applications. Certain heavy metals such as arsenic, cadmium, lead, thallium, and mercury serve no biological role. They inevitably enter the human body due to their presence in the environment, and as they accumulate in the body, they become toxic. Other heavy metals such as iron, zinc, copper, and manganese, at low concentrations, are essential for human survival. However, they can become toxic agents at higher concentrations. Heavy metal toxicity occurs when microscopic molecules of metals accumulate within your body after exposure. Heavy metals attach to your cells and prevent them from performing their functions, which causes symptoms that could be life-threatening without treatment. Heavy metals form naturally within the Earth's crust. They constantly recycle into your food, your water, and even the air you breathe. This means that no matter where you are exposed to heavy metals on a daily basis. Exposure of individuals to heavy metals is a growing concern with far-reaching implications for human health. When present in excess or in particular chemical forms, heavy metals have the potential to elicit adverse effects on the cardiovascular system, as well as the central nervous system and cognitive function. Most metals that cause poisoning are in a microscopic form when they enter your body. They are so small you won't be able to see them. Heavy metals can enter your body through absorbing into your skin, breathing in or inhaling tiny metal molecules, or eating or drinking the metal from food or water. Toxic exposure can happen if you're exposed to a large amount of metals. You are especially at risk if you drink water from pipes made of older metals. Work with metals. Take more than the prescribed dosage of medicine or supplements that contain metal. Live in an environment with contaminated air or water. Eat a lot of foods that contain metal. Consume a non-edible product made with metal, such as paint. Note that children are at a higher risk of heavy metal poisoning because their bodies are still developing, and they are more sensitive to the harmful effects of heavy metals. Acute heavy metal exposure is usually accidental, suicidal, or homicidal ingestion of a toxic metal compound, which induces acute symptoms. Instances like these require an emergency trip to the hospital. Chronic heavy metal exposure, on the other hand, is much more common. Ingesting small amounts of contaminated food, water, or air over the long term. It has cumulative effects on the body. These small amounts of poison build up in the body over time and can make you sick. Heavy metals bind to cells, tissues, and organs, disrupting normal cellular functions and metabolic processes. Or they interact with biological molecules, such as DNA, proteins, and enzymes, causing damage and altering cellular behavior. Next is a brief description of the most common heavy metals: aluminum, arsenic, barium, cadmium, lead, mercury, and strontium, known for their prevalence, toxicity, environmental impact, and health effects. Aluminum, found in pharmaceuticals, environmental contamination, geoengineering, aerosols, food and water, and cosmetics. Arsenic, found in contaminated groundwater, rice and rice-based products, mushrooms, poultry, cereals, and fruit juices, industrial sources, air pollution, and soil contamination due to release from industrial or agricultural activities. Barium, found in environmental contamination from industrial processes and waste disposal, geoengineering, aerosols, drinking water, food, occupational exposure, and medical procedures, such as X-ray imaging and certain radiological procedures that require drinking a barium sulfate beverage to help improve imaging. Cadmium, found in metal plating, batteries, and cigarette smoke. Lead, found in contaminated water supply from lead pipes, batteries, paint, gasoline, and construction materials. Mercury, found in thermometers, light bulbs, batteries, seafood, amalgam dental fillings, and topical antiseptics. Strontium, found in geoengineering, aerosols, ceramics, glass products, paints, fluorescent lights, certain supplements, and medications. And thallium, found in rodenticides, pesticides, and fireworks. Symptoms of heavy metal poisoning vary depending on the specific metal involved, the level of exposure, and whether the exposure is acute or chronic. Although it is important to be aware of the symptoms of heavy metal toxicity, tissue levels are usually quite high before symptoms are experienced. In the early stages, many people have no symptoms at all. Common symptoms in adults include general fatigue, muscle or joint pain, nervous system, numbness or tingling at the extremities, brain, memory loss, headaches, irritability, depression, lack of concentration, digestive, constipation, nausea, poor appetite, cardiovascular, high blood pressure, abnormal heart rhythms, kidneys, abnormal function or damage. Common symptoms in children include developmental delays, learning difficulties, irritability, behavioral problems such as hyperactivity, impulsivity, aggression, and difficulty concentrating, loss of appetite, weight loss, sluggishness, fatigue, abdominal pain, vomiting, constipation, hearing loss, and seizures. This is a list of specific symptoms associated with certain metals.
Imagine discovering that the real power to heal has been inside you all along. Introducing Unlock Your Health Potential. This groundbreaking guide reveals how to move beyond chasing symptoms and instead uncover the true root causes behind your fatigue, mood changes, chronic aches, and other long-standing conditions, so you can finally experience the lasting relief and vitality you deserve. This book is a treasure trove of practical information. It offers the guidance and confidence you need to take charge of your well-being, break out of the vicious cycle of declining health, and rebuild the vibrant life you deserve.
To summarize, heavy metal is a broad term that describes a group of naturally occurring metallic elements of high molecular weight and density compared to water. Toxic exposure can happen if you're exposed to a large amount of metals. Heavy metals can enter your body through absorbing into your skin, breathing in or inhaling tiny metal molecules, or eating or drinking the metal from food or water. They bind to cells, tissues, and organs, disrupting normal cellular functions and metabolic processes. They also interact with biological molecules, such as DNA, proteins, and enzymes, causing damage and altering cellular behavior. Symptoms of heavy metal poisoning vary depending on the specific metal involved, the level of exposure, and whether the exposure is acute or chronic. Although it is important to be aware of the symptoms of heavy metal toxicity, tissue levels are usually quite high before symptoms are experienced. In the early stages, many people have no symptoms at all. If you are experiencing persistent brain fog, fatigue, anxiety, depression, and/or other symptoms associated with heavy metal toxicity, you have risk factors for heavy metal toxicity, such as possible chronic exposure to lead from an old home, and/or your symptoms have not improved after addressing diet, lifestyle, gut health, thyroid health, and other possible causes. Your body might be struggling with heavy metals toxicity. Remember, suppressing a symptom may ease your suffering and help in the immediate moment, but it never gets to the underlying cause. This approach does not take into account your body's natural self-healing mechanisms and causes long-term dysfunction. Thus, it is best to think why, how, and mechanism of various conditions, rather than focusing on the condition itself. Looking for tips and strategies on how to confirm and resolve this root cause? Our book, Unlock Your Health Potential, offers a comprehensive guide for how to confirm, address, and resolve the 24 major root causes discussed in this video series. For immediate actions you may take now to kickstart your healing journey, check our Master Your Health in 8 Weeks program. We hope you enjoyed and benefited from this short video. For a list of supporting references and resources, check this video description below. Please remember to like and share this video. May you achieve your health goals and experience joy, resilience, and optimal health.